What is happening, fellow pioneers of human transportation? I'm Yogi Steve and you're watching ESA, the Electric Scooter Academy. Videos about high-powered scooters. Thank you for joining me. I'm out here not doing deliveries. I'm out here just getting some shit done, doing chores. I'm out here on my KAABO Mantis King GT. I'm going to give you sort of a 750-mile review of this scooter. If you're looking at this scooter, I do have a bonus code. I actually don't know what it is, but it gets you $100 off. I'll put it right here. I forgot what it is. But don't sleep on this scooter in the low $2,000 price point range. It's a phenomenal scooter. First, I'm picking up some antibiotics from the pharmacy. I just had a tooth extraction, so I got to do like a week on amoxicillin. So let's go pick that up, and I'll start talking to you about the scooter as we drive over to the smoke machine supply store. Roman, you motherfucker, you're working too much. Look, I got another scooter. I'm actually doing personal chores right now. Good to see you, buddy. We just bumped into my buddy Roman. This is the $1,500 a week killer. You ever see this before? KAABO Mantis King GT. It's a very cool, fun. I didn't actually have my antibiotic ready, so we're going to go to the smoke machine supply store first. And then we'll come back for the meds, the other meds. So don't sleep on this scooter. I think sometimes when a scooter is on the market for a while, customers are almost automatically looking for something newer. I think this one's been on the market for 2 years, which is a pretty long time for a scooter. Is there an upgrade coming to this scooter? I don't think so, actually. I think there's almost nothing wrong with this scooter. It's had a bunch of upgrades, so I'll break it down into individual components. That's the way I've been doing my reviews, because I definitely want to avoid like this is the best scooter, but in some categories it is the best, some categories it isn't. But this scooter, out of all the scooters that I ride, it ranks very, very high in all the different categories. So I think the first category I want to go with is overall build quality, and I'm going to give it like an 8.75 out of 10, which I consider very, very high. Build quality to me means how soon until you are in the shop with the scooter with just basic regular use. Every scooter is going to go to the shop. The question is, are you going to go to the shop in mile 100 or mile 3000? Now this scooter I've had zero problems with. I got a flat, no problem, but every other component on it, the frame, the brakes, the rims, the electronics, the motor, I've had no trouble. I really feel like the build quality on this scooter, it's very simple. It's a very simple scooter, but I feel like the build quality is very high. Now, this takes into account that there's been some modifications on the scooter since it's been released. When it was new, some people were having trouble with the stem. They had to put an extra weld on the stem. And last year, quite a few people were having a crack develop in the neck on the scooter, so they developed a version 2 and version 3 neck. I actually do have the upgraded neck. I wasn't really having a crack in my scooter at all, but I knew it was smart just to replace the neck anyhow, so I brought it to Voromotors and they gave me a neck replacement, no problem. It was very fucking cool. So to me, this scooter, like build quality wise, is like, it's almost near perfect. I'm not gonna give it a 10, 8.75. It's still just a commercially designed scooter. It's still just a commercially available scooter. It's not a custom scooter or anything extremely special, but build quality, very, very high. Now I'm going to give this scooter a rating on performance. Now keep in mind, I'm sort of talking about performance, not just in comparison to this scooter, but everything I drive. So I'm sort of performance category, I'm comparing to $4,000 scooters as far as speed, acceleration. But this scooter still has a very solid 8.0 out of 10 performance rating from me. Now what I mean by that is the acceleration is very good. It's nothing insane, but for a $2,000 scooter, I mean, it is very fucking quick. Obviously it's not as quick as my $4,000 scooters, but it's very, very fucking incredible for the price point for sure. It can reach about 45 miles per hour when the battery is full if you're not over 200 pounds. But it's definitely got a good top speed, mid-40s, good acceleration. You can see we're out here on Sunset Boulevard. I'm actually going to flip it into fifth. So performance, I give it a high rating. I will give the brakes a separate rating, but performance-wise, the brakes are very, very good. Actually, let's go right into the components as they're related to performance, so we'll talk about the brakes. I think the brakes on this scooter are a 9 out of 10. I don't give 9s very, very easily in this rating system. I like to have conservative ratings. I like to leave room for growth. The brakes on this are amazing. They're just standard Zoom hydraulics, but they're the same brakes that are on the bigger scooters, on my big $4,000 KAABOs. So the brakes on this scooter are appropriate for the size of the scooter. These are just basic Zoom brakes. I give them a 9 out of 10. They're super grippy. They work at high speed, they work at lower speeds. You can lock the wheels up and skid this fucker, no problem, just like that. So I do like the brakes. They react very well to bleeding. When you bleed these brakes and put in new pads, they feel almost better than factory. So brakes, 9 out of 10 on the KAABO Mantis King GT. Tires, I'm gonna give an 8 out of 10. I did get one flat on this scooter. I don't even remember when, how, or why, but the tires are easy to replace because it's a split rim. Now again, remember, in this case, I'm comparing the tires to $4,000 scooters that have 11, 12, and 13-inch tires. So these are only 10-inch tires. I don't personally love 10-inch or smaller tires, but it is what it is. At this price point, there's no 11-inch. There's no good scooter with 11-inch tires. So the tires are good. They're typical nylon CSTs. Easy to change, I think, is the most important thing. You can see I'm out here ripping it up with traffic. So the tires are good. 8 out of 10. They're not prone to getting flats. Split rim design, very important there. Not many scooters have that. Very easy to change. Let's rate the acceleration while we chase a motorcycle, which he's gonna smoke us, but acceleration on this thing is great. I would say 8.5 out of 10. Not as fast as my bigger vehicles, but look at this thing. We got to 40 miles per hour in 2 fucking seconds. 42. Yeah, this thing just fucking rips. Acceleration on this scooter is great. I give the acceleration an 8.5 out of 10, meaning that my bigger scooters I'll rate 8.75, 9, and higher. So this thing just accelerates great. It's fucking smooth as fuck. It's got the sine wave controller. We are ripping it up here on the flats at 43 miles per hour, no problem. 43 easy on the flats. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, the brakes are awesome. I'm gonna rate the frame, the entire frame. I'm gonna call the frame a 9 out of 10. Reason being is it's been upgraded. Nothing better than a scooter that has been vetted by community and then fixed by the manufacturer. So again, they upgraded the stem, they upgraded the neck, and the rest of the frame is just super, super durable. These things are not falling apart. I'm not in love with single stem scooters. I really prefer the double stem designs. But this scooter is holding up amazingly well. There are not a lot of, there's really no reports of the stem breaking, especially since they welded it. You can maybe even see from like right here. This welding here, this is new. This is like new welding, and this is the new neck. So frame, 9 out of 10 on the KAABO Mantis King GT. I don't run lights unless I'm working, you know? All right, here we go. It's a serious fucking hill. Rating this scooter on portability, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's got more portability than the $4,000 scooters. It's smaller, it's lighter, it's 75 pounds. My friend Afonso actually bought this scooter just because he wanted to have a scooter he could take out to the group rides. He's got a big Nami, but it's too hard to put those in his car. So the scooter is super portable, 9 out of 10, very light, very easy to pick up. And out of all the scooters that I have, it's one of the easiest to put into your car. I mean, the bigger scooters are just a bitch. You should try putting the GTR, you should try putting the KAABO Wolf King GTR into a car. It's a bitch. I do it when I drive to my girlfriend's place. I put it in her like Toyota. So that's because she doesn't have an elevator in her building. I can't get the scooter into her apartment. Anyhow, Jesus, what are all these fucking people doing? All right, so now we're closing in on the smoke machine supply store, and I already paid. I already ordered what I am getting. I'm getting a couple of, you know, today is like half price day for one of my favorite brands. One thing that's good about the scooter is you might have just seen I just switched gears. It's very easy to switch gears on the fly, like one button switch. And that's important for me because I do tend to switch gears as I'm driving around. But here we are at the Artist Tree. Great place for half price mids. Don't, because I got a backpack with me. Just save the bag for sure.
$83.50. I got a GoPro myself. Need to get the straps and everything.
You gonna become a YouTuber like me?
Who knows?
What is it, 80 what?
$83.50.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to give the folding mechanism a high rating as well, 9 out of 10. It's just a very simple, intuitive mechanism, very easy to use, and I feel like it's like super, super sturdy. So I give the hinge, the folding mechanism, a solid 9 out of 10. I'm going to give the handlebars an 8 out of 10. I mean, normally I don't even rate handlebars, but I'm just giving you everything right now, a real detailed thought process review. The handlebars could be wider. I mean, they're a little bit narrow. And I'm starting to really prefer handlebars that are tapered towards you, angled towards you a little bit, like the InMotion RS. I wish more companies would do that. So the handlebars, they're good. They don't fold, which sucks for putting it in your car. Good for durability that they don't fold, but whoa, what the fuck? Who's honking? I'll give the handlebars an 8 out of 10. The suspension on this scooter is, I would say it's amazing. I don't want to give it too high of a rating because, again, I'm comparing it to $4,000 scooters. Just during this review, I'll give the suspension an 8.75. This was the first real like $2,000 scooter that I ever rode that had like a real cushy suspension. So I really do like the suspension. The deck actually has quite a bit of vertical up and down play, as I call it. And it goes over bumps and shit really well. I mean, it's not like being on the GTR, which has like a giant double the size suspension and bigger tires. But it has great suspension, unbelievable suspension for this price point. I mean, this thing's fucking cushy as fuck. I just like the way it hits bumps. That's what I mean. Suspension to me means how does it handle bumps, especially bumps that you don't see. Those are the ones that are the most dangerous. I'm also going to give a high rating to, I guess what I'll call availability of replacement parts. That is an important concept. That's why if I was just a consumer looking to buy a scooter, I would always almost avoid a first generation anything because it takes a while for the parts to get onto AliExpress. But I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because this scooter's been on the market for a while. If you want to get that upgraded neck, you could buy it yourself. If you need a new battery, you can find it on AliExpress. So that's what I mean by availability of parts. I'll give this a very high rating, a 9 out of 10. If shit goes wrong with your scooter, you're not going to be stuck waiting forever for parts. Of course, I also have to give a score for range. This is where the scooter gets a lower score, 7.5 for range. At the highest of speeds, it's probably a sub 20 mile range scooter. That's if you're really blasting in 5th gear like I'm doing right now. And when you ride in these higher gears, you smoke your battery. But this is a relatively small, I'm not even sure what the amp hours are. I think it's a 28 amp hour scooter. Oh, come on, lady, go, go, go. Come on. So range gets a low score. Can you extend range on this? I guess so. It's not the type of scooter where I see too many guys with like an extra battery on it. If you get this scooter, it's usually because 20 miles range is enough. If you drive it in 2nd and 3rd gear, you'll get 25 plus miles. And remember, I also do a lot of uphill driving, so my range estimates are always short. Range 7.5 out of 10. I still need to get my antibiotics, but I also need some junk food, so we're gonna go into the Target. This Target's had so much shoplifting, so much problems with shoplifting, they had to close like the 2nd floor where the self-check is, and now everybody's gotta go through the bottom entrance. It's fucking bullshit what's happening with these stores, let me tell you. They're all going to be out of business. We're just going to get everything online one day. Buy one, get one free. Got 2 bags. Hello, Pioneers. I forgot to do an outro. So the KAABO Mantis King GT gets high scores in most categories. I really like it. Use my bonus code ESA100 for $100 off. Use the link in description. That really supports the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, set your notification for the live stream. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. See you next time.